What is good in the hood, folks? It's your boy, Okabe Johnson, and I'm here today to review the brand new anime book by up-and-coming YouTuber Rusty Cage, Requiem of the Crazies. Now you might be thinking, Okabe Johnson, how can we possibly trust your review? Aren't you close personal friends with the author of this anime book? Aren't you going to be a little bit biased? Well, fans of the State of the YouTube podcast may know that I utterly despise the author Rusty Cage. I hate him so much, and I go out of my way to make his life more difficult. So you can believe me that I will give a fair and balanced and unbiased review of his new anime book. The reason why I have such an early access copy of this book is because when he launched his Indiegogo campaign to fund the book in the first place, I was one of the initial big dick backers, folks. That's right, 100 big ones. If you ask me, he wouldn't have even been able to fund the project if not for my generous donation. So I think it's only fair that Rusty Cage gives me 10% of all profits from the book. It's kind of like Shark Tank. I gave him a little bit of money from my vast wealth to own 10% of his company, of his book. I think that's fair. So once he starts making the big dollars off this shit, I think I should get a cut, folks. Everybody tweet at Rusty Cage. Hashtag 10% for Mumkey. 10%. And now you might be wondering, Mumkey, with all the financial difficulties you've had lately, how could you possibly afford to donate $100 to a fucking comic book? Well, I'll have you know, I contributed that money literally 2 days before all of my YouTube channels were deleted. And I begged and pleaded to Rusty. I said, Rusty, please, you don't understand. This is it's a financial crisis on my end. Every penny is gonna count now. Can I please have my $100 back? And Rusty says to me,
motherfucker, no refunds on my comic book. Oh, you should have planned ahead, buckaroo. No refund for you.
That's exactly what Rusty said. And I said, Rusty, please. Rusty, this is barbaric what you're doing. You're already making 40 grand on this Indiegogo. Do you really need my $100 when I'm so desperate for my cash now? And he said,
oh, get fucked, motherfucker. I don't give a shit.
I swear that's what he said. No, Rusty, he was very adamant that I get my money back, and I told him to fuck off. So that's why I got this book earlier than most people, and some other things. So I want to talk about briefly, before I get into the quality of the book itself, what it was like being a $100 backer on the project and all the other bonus things I got because of that. First and foremost, I got 2 signed copies of the comic book. I got this Rusty Cage jacket patch. I'm not really much of a patch guy myself. Perhaps my brother Patchy will know what to do with this. I guess you're supposed to iron it onto your clothes. I don't have an iron. I'm not much of an iron man. But I'm sure we'll find a use for this. Rusty also drew everybody at a certain level, I don't remember which tier, some sort of picture. I don't know if this is supposed to be me, you know, crazy demon monkey, or if he just drew them at random and gave them to people at random. I don't know what the fuck this is. Are these just like the random paper he has around his house that he was drawing on the back of? I have no idea. It's a cool drawing though. I don't know. So those things are all cute. It's nice to have. I really appreciate it, Rust. The bad thing, if we're gonna get negative right off the bat, you get a poster, a really, really cool poster. Requiem of the Crazies. It's a carbon copy of the cover of the book. It looks so cool. But I guess the only way to make it fit in the package that I received was to fold it up. Folded it twice, folks. Rusty, okay, I understand the logistics of why this had to happen. I get it. If you would have ordered you would have had to get 1,000 of those cardboard tubes, and it probably would have tripled your shipping costs and overall costs to do all of this. But Rusty, what the fuck am I supposed to do with a quadded up poster? Does anybody hang up folded up posters on their walls, folks? I would have rather not gotten a poster at all. This is like a slap in the face by Rusty's hard cock. It's such a nice poster too. I get it. It would have cost you thousands more dollars to ship out posters the correct way by rolling them up, perhaps. But man, not sure what I'm gonna do with this. It's such a nice poster. Alright, I'm already sweating like a pig filming this video, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Is the comic book itself any good, folks? Is it any good? I'm an English major. I should know a thing or two about writing. I should be an educated critic when it comes to books. Let's take a look. Requiem of the Crazies is the story of a man who has given up on life. He had so many aspirations, hopes, and dreams of becoming a rock star. Rusty, where did you get that inspiration from, perhaps? But he's stuck at this shitty job, mundane, he hates his life, and to top it all off, he walks in on his wife sleeping with a man of African American descent! Whoa! Oh! So of course he gives up on life, he's ready to end it all, and right before he pulls the trigger, he meets a wise old homeless man who says, "No, you can have a second chance at life. Come with me and I'll show you the ways of the hobo." And the story, thus far, follows him, this main character, as he is learning about the hobo lifestyle. As far as characters go, the homeless people we are introduced to in this first issue, I think, are a lot of fun. They're not only funny characters, but they have some gruesome backstories that I really enjoyed. This is a very explicit book. Lots of horrific violence, sexual violence, cursing even. Definitely would not recommend for kids under 12, which means probably 80% of Rusty's fan base should not pick up a copy. But I really enjoy the characters that we've met so far in this, and I really look forward to seeing the depravity, the depths of Rusty's mind, and what he'll come up with in future issues for future characters. The art in the book, I think goes without saying, is really nice. It actually pisses me off that now Rusty is both a talented musician and a talented artist. Some of this stuff, you would never guess that this was made by one guy in his fucking bedroom, self-publishing. I mean, it's high-level, high-quality work here, folks. I would not be surprised if this was on bookshelves and came from one of the AAA anime book producers. It's called AAA in the anime book industry, right? I have to assume so. It's just such high-quality professional work, and I don't know which company he went through to actually produce the book, but the pages are all glossy and nice, and I mean, everything about it just screams professional. You would not think that this was independently produced by one sweaty man in Florida. Unfortunately, the big problem I have with the book is the length. It's not very long. It's only 4 chapters. Reading it, even with slowing down to admire a lot of the art in the book, it only took me about an hour to get all the way through. And I get it. It is one guy writing, drawing, doing all of the work. He literally did all of the work on this book by himself. And that is so impressive. But it's also a bit of a detriment to the artistic storytelling experience. Because since it's only 4 chapters, it does not get very deep into the story. This is very, very much just an introductory to a few characters and to the world of the book. And really, this complaint is also, I think, high praise, because after I finished it, I was like, well, fuck, now I want to keep reading. I want to keep reading. And it sucks that he's doing this by himself, because we're probably going to have to wait another 6 months to get the next 4 chapters. He really hasn't even got into the conflict the overall overarching conflict of the story yet. It's very introductory. But that being said, it's a very satisfying opening. I already really like the characters. I already really want to see where this story is going. And it just sucks. It sucks that we're gonna have to wait so long. But when you're making a book where you have to draw every single inch of a page, I can see why it took him 4 months. I'm actually surprised that he got it done that fast. This quality should not be attempted by one man. I honestly have no idea how he can possibly hope to complete all of this on his own. Maybe he'll have to hire other writers or something to get this out before he literally dies. It's a quick read, but it's a satisfying read. But you will be left feeling a bit empty, thinking, well, I really want to keep reading, and I can't, and I probably won't be able to until the end of the year. So, my advice would be, somebody invent a cloning machine so we can have 20 Rusties working on these nonstop so we can get the rest of the issues out ASAP. The story, the characters were so much fun that the book is ruined because it's only 4 chapters. No, it's not ruined. Would I recommend it? Yeah, no, it's an enjoyable hour of your time. The art is really great to look at. The story is brutal and fun. The characters are funny little homeless cretins. I think it's definitely going to be a little dark for some people, but so is a lot of the stuff I make. So if you're already a fan of me and Rusty, this is going to be right up your alley. No pun intended, I guess. Homeless people live in alleys. I don't even think it's available to purchase yet, so it's not like I'm trying to shill this on behalf of my friend and say, oh, go buy a copy now. I just wanted to give my authentic thoughts on it. I really enjoyed it. I thought everything about it was great. Phenomenal work for an independent creator making his first ever comic book. You would never guess that if you didn't know it. You would think this is just like any other professionally made comic you'll find on the shelf at Anime Books Barnyard. I assume that's the name of the local bookstore. But yeah, impressive stuff. Can't wait for the next one. And I wish it was longer, but it's a lot of work to put on one man, so I know why it's not. And also, my name is right there in the book, Monkey Jones. That's right. That right there is why I deserve 10% of the profits from the book. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this. I always thought, about 2 years ago, I released my book, The Triflers, and a lot of my friends reviewed it. The PCP did a thing reviewing it, Psy did a thing reviewing it, and I wanted to return that favor. The idea of your friend making something creative and working really hard to produce a product, not a fucking review, not making a goddamn review of somebody else's work. One of my friends making an actual piece of original art for me to review. I always thought that'd be great, and I've been waiting so long for the opportunity. Asperger was gonna make an album, but he was too busy getting bloody fists, I guess. Everybody is just a lazy piece of shit. So the fact that Rusty actually went out and made art. I guess he makes albums too, but I'm not much of a music critic. But he made this fucking art! I'm just glad I finally have a friend who made something worthy of being reviewed. I'm glad I could return that favor, not to the people who reviewed my book, but to a friend. So yeah, that's the end. When it comes out publicly for everybody, I'd say it's worth picking up a copy. Or maybe wait 10 years to buy, I assume, the complete set, so that you don't have to wait a year between chapters. That's all. I've been Okabe Johnson. I'm gonna go hang up my fucking folded up poster.
Suck my dick while I run over pedestrians! Wanna